I helped a friend open a bank account, then found out he was using my name on his paperwork. It started like most things do. Casual, simple, nothing weird. I ran into Anton at the store. We weren't best friends or anything, just knew each other from a shared job years ago. He'd recently moved to the city and was still settling in. He asked how I'd been. I said, "Fine." He said he was still figuring out how this place works. Then a few days later he messaged, "Hey, can you help me at the bank? I need to open an account and they're throwing too many words at me." I asked, "You don't trust Google Translate?" He said, "Nah. I just want someone who gets how this stuff works. You're good with this, right?" I didn't really want to go, but I didn't really have a reason to say no. So I said yes. We met outside the bank the next day. He looked stressed, kept checking his phone, wiping his hands on his jeans. Inside, the clerk handed over a stack of forms. Most of it was basic: personal info, address, ID, tax ID. Anton pushed the papers toward me and asked, "What's this part mean?" I glanced. It was about joint ownership. I said, "That's for shared accounts. Like if you open it with a spouse or family member." He laughed and said, "Yeah, not for me." So he kept filling things out. Half an hour passed. The clerk asked something. Anton looked confused. Then he turned to me. "Can you just help me with this? They said someone needs to verify they know me, like a reference." He passed me a small form. Simple: name, phone number, signature. I hesitated. "What am I signing exactly?" He said, "Just that you know me, like a personal reference. I don't have family here, and they want something on record." I looked at the woman behind the desk. She nodded like this was normal. So I signed. That was it. No official-looking agreement. No bank jargon. Just pen and paper, then a handshake and, "You'll get your card by mail." He thanked me, bought me a coffee after, said, "Couldn't have done that without you." I shrugged it off. No big deal. But over the next few weeks, I started getting weird letters. One from the bank, with my full name on the envelope. Inside, some generic welcome message, a mention of online services, and the name of an account I didn't open. I ignored it at first. Assumed it was just a database glitch. Maybe they added my name to some mailing list because I signed that form. But then the second envelope arrived. This one had transaction history. It showed a debit card I'd never used. An account balance. Anton's name was on the top, but so was mine. There it was. Account holders, Anton B., my full name. My stomach dropped. I logged into my banking app. Nothing there. This was his bank. Not mine. A completely separate institution. One I'd never dealt with. But apparently, I had an account now. A shared one. With someone I barely spoke to anymore. And that's when I realized. That form I signed? It wasn't just a reference. It made me part of his setup. The next morning, I called the bank. Not angry. Not dramatic. Just confused. Gave them the account number, read my name. The woman on the phone said, "Yes, that's a joint account. You're listed as a co-owner." I asked, "Is it possible that was added by mistake?" She paused. "You were present when the account was opened, correct?" I said yes. "Then no, it wouldn't be a mistake." I asked what paperwork they had. She said they could show me if I came in. So I did. I showed up after work, asked for someone from account services. They printed everything out. Let me see the forms. And there it was, my signature, right underneath Anton's. Box ticked for joint account. Small print saying we were equally responsible for all account activity. I looked up. He told me I was just signing as a reference. The woman frowned, said, "Unfortunately, the form you signed was for co-ownership. It's legally binding. He may have misrepresented it, but the system shows you both as full holders." I felt the blood rush to my face. It wasn't just about being tricked. It was about being tied to something I had no control over. Any overdraft, any shady transaction, my name was on it. Any debt, partially mine. I asked if I could be removed. She said both account holders would need to sign a closure or amendment form. I left with the copies in a folder. Didn't go home. Just sat on a bench outside and stared at my name. When I got home, I texted Anton. "Hey, quick question. Why is my name on your bank account?" No reply for 3 hours. Then, "What do you mean?" I sent a picture of the letter. 10 minutes later. "Oh yeah. I thought that was just for setup. Didn't think it mattered. Didn't think it mattered. Didn't think I'd notice. Didn't think I'd care." I called him. He picked up. I asked, "Why didn't you tell me this was a joint account?" He laughed, actually laughed, and said, "Bro, it's not like I'm using your money or anything. It's just for utility bills and basic stuff. I needed someone to co-sign cause I don't have local proof of income." That was it. That's why he picked me. Because I looked stable, had a local address, and didn't ask too many questions. I said, "You put me at legal risk." He said, "You're overreacting." I hung up, blocked his number, didn't say anything else. Next morning, I took the forms back to the bank, signed a closure request, told them I wanted my name off everything. They froze the account temporarily until Anton came in to sign. 3 days later, it was closed. Done. I never heard from him again. He didn't try to call. Didn't apologize. Didn't ask why I was upset. Because he knew. He gambled on my silence. On my politeness. On me being too embarrassed to push back. And for a while, he was right. But people like that don't stop where they should. They stop where you make them. 2 weeks passed. Life returned to normal. No more calls. No more forms. No more pretending that, helping, someone was harmless. I didn't talk about it. Didn't post online. Didn't mention it to anyone, because honestly, I felt stupid. Like I'd walked into a trap with my eyes half closed and hoped it wasn't sharp. Then one night, I got a message on Instagram from someone I hadn't spoken to in years, Tomas. He used to live with Anton, briefly, maybe 3 years ago. We'd met once at a dinner, followed each other, that was it. His message said, "Hey, sorry if this is random, but I saw your name listed on a bank doc I got forwarded by mistake. Related to Anton. Did you co-sign for something with him?" My stomach clenched. I replied, "Long story. But yeah, not willingly." "Why?" He sent a voice note. His tone wasn't surprised. It was tired. "Same thing happened to me. Back in 2021. He told me he needed help setting up a rental deposit. Said I'd just be a contact. I signed a paper. A month later, I got called about unpaid rent on an apartment I didn't live in." I just stared at the screen. Same setup. Same explanation. Same signature trick. He said Anton eventually ghosted the landlord, skipped the city, and left Tomas dealing with collectors for 2 months before it was sorted. I asked, "Did you report it?" He replied, "Nah. It wasn't worth the energy. I just warned people when I could." Then he added, "You're not the first. I doubt you'll be the last." That line stuck with me, because the signs had always been there. Not red flags, more like gray ones. Easy to ignore. Anton always had a new excuse. New job. New number. New address. He never stayed in one place long. Never had a long-term friend group. Always rebuilding from something. And now I saw it clearly. He relied on being new. On people not knowing his past. On no one connecting the dots. Until someone finally did. I didn't answer Tomas right away. Just scrolled through Anton's profile. It was private now. Bio said, digital nomad. Currently traveling. Last post, tagged in another city, another bar, another fresh start. Same smile. Same hoodie. And probably the same story. I didn't message him. Didn't threaten him. Didn't out him publicly. But I took screenshots. I saved every form. And I quietly sent everything, dates, account numbers, copies, to the bank's fraud department. No drama. No noise. Just facts. Because some people don't deserve confrontation. They deserve records.